Manzanita Lake Campground is part of Lassen Volcanic National Park in Mineral, California. The first thing to know about Manzanita Lake Campground is the campground is seasonal, so it's roughly open between mid-May and mid-September, but the dates can vary depending on the weather. And the campground normally opens earlier than the rest of Lassen National Park, so it is possible to stay at the campground but not get to explore much of the park depending on the month. Manzanita Lake Campground does allow tents as well as trailers. The maximum trailer length is 40 feet. The parking pads are paved, fairly level, and there are several pull-through options. There were a lot of options that would be easy to park in with larger rigs. This campground is a dry campground. There are no water or electrical hookups. There is drinking water available, and there is also an RV water fill. Over near the dump station, you can fill up your tank with drinking water. And as we just mentioned, there is a dump station available. For the most part, the sites here are not going to give you any privacy. It felt pretty packed in when we were there, but this was the expectation because it is in a national park. With that being said, there were a few sites towards the edges that did give a little bit more space and a little bit more privacy. The campsites did include a metal fire pit, metal bear box, and a picnic table. The campground did offer flush toilets as well as showers. And there was both trash and recycling available. The campground did have a store with supplies, which is nice because there really aren't any other options in the area. There is no internet at this campground. Our Verizon signal got no service at all within the campground. We were able to get a weak signal while we were hiking once we started gaining some elevation. And there is no Wi-Fi available, so don't expect to be able to use your phones too much at this campground. The types of trees at Manzanita Lake include Jeffrey pine, ponderosa pine, and aspen trees. Some of the common animals you might see are deer, squirrels, chipmunks. There are also bears around, and there are lots of different birds, including woodpeckers and eagles. And then you'll find fish in the lake. Now let's talk about the activities at Manzanita Lake. And the first is the lake itself, Manzanita Lake. Fishing is a very popular activity to do at this lake. There were a bunch of people out there fishing. The fishing is all catch and release. The lake does also allow non-motorized boats. So kayaking is another fun thing to do on the lake, and they even have kayak rentals available. And then you can also swim in the lake. Another activity you can do is go to the visitor center. There is also a junior ranger program available. There was an activity booklet as well as badges that the kids got to earn. And then another popular thing to do is go hiking. There are tons of trails around. We hiked around Manzanita Lake. It was a very easy hike and fun for the kids. Then we also did Chaos Crags Trail. This was a little bit more difficult. It's probably the most difficult trail that our kids have done, but there were some nice views and everyone decided it was well worth the effort.
I made it! Yay!
And it is worth noting that none of these trails allow dogs. And then lastly, a great activity to do at Manzanita Lake Campground is to explore Lassen National Park. This campground is within the national park, and it only makes sense to explore all the natural beauty that is surrounding you. There were a couple things that we really wanted to check out. We wanted to check out the Sulphur Works, and we wanted to see Bumpass Hell. Bumpass Hell is the largest hydrothermal area in Lassen Volcanic National Park, and it's known for its bubbling mud pots. Unfortunately, while we were there, which was in mid-June, most of Lassen National Park was still closed. So the campground was open, but almost everything else was still closed for the season. So we didn't get to see any of the really fun volcanic bubbling mud pot kind of stuff. I still think it would be fun to check out, so there's a good chance we'll go back there another time when we're in the area. Right now, the cost to stay at Manzanita Lake Campground is $26 a night. In addition to that, you do also have to pay to enter Lassen National Park upon arrival, which is an additional $30. If you're interested in seeing what our favorite sites were at the Manzanita Lake Campground, we will list all of that out in the full blog article. To get a link, just click the video description and you can see all of the details there. I hope this helped give you a better idea if camping at Manzanita Lake Campground would be a good fit for you and your family. If it did, please subscribe. Thanks and happy camping.